of people wanting to wait till payday, or, you know, you suddenly start getting let me wait and see. And then you go into a bit of a panic thinking, oh, is it something I did? Am I not teaching well? Is it something I'm not communicating very well, or not, am I not addressing their needs well enough? Have I just had verbal diarrhea and put them off? But I think sometimes then if you have a good enrolling kind of stretch, it suddenly just gives you this massive energy. So I suppose that's where I am right now. But yes, so I'd love to know how you approached it mentally and energetically when you looked at your tree and there wasn't a lot of activity other than what you're doing. No matter how much you try and be there for your leaders and give them what they need. If they're saying, I'm opening a chiropractic clinic, I don't have time right now, or, you know, one of my leaders had a massive knockback where there was somebody who was very anti-MLM, and she did a big Facebook post about it and named my leader, and she felt shamed in the community and all of that. So she's taken a back seat. So I would just love your thoughts on that, really.
Wow. I love that. And I love just right where you're at right now, because it's such a great, like, I think every time I've felt that way of like, oh my goodness, I'm all on my own, and, you know, this is me climbing that insurmountable mountain again. Those are those moments when I get to check back in, and it provides this, I don't know, maybe it's a space for me to get clear. And it seems like it requires new things of my leadership and of my personal abilities. Like I have to go deeper. And the same thing that got us to where we were before doesn't work to get us to where we're going now. And I used to be so annoyed by that, you know? I used to be like, oh, like, this is crazy, you know? I thought I had this figured out. And now I'm super grateful for it, because it seems like a gift to me. Because every time it's like, wow, if I get this, then that just expands my leadership into, wow, this, you know, it's just so much more than it was before. But I definitely have felt that numerous times in numerous ways. And I love your description of it, because every time it happens, it's a little bit different. But the thing I've learned is, you know, whether it's one leader opening up a chiropractic clinic, or somebody having a baby, or somebody getting shamed and like drawing back in fear, it's all a matter of flowing with those things, flowing with life and flowing with what is. And I love a lot of what Byron Katie says about loving what is. And I think before I used to have a lot of resistance to these times and just feel like, oh, I'm going to just throw my hands up in the air and I don't know what else to do and I don't know how to navigate this. When really it's this space and this time to really get still and go to where I need to go to lead the team to the next level. And maybe that sounds ethereal, but like it's just so real and so practical.
All you can do, isn't it? Because you can't force others.
Yeah.
You can only go to yourself.
Yeah. And it's that resistance that helps us, you know, kind of climb the ladder, so to speak. Like I love the visual of that this new, you know, breakdown in some way is kind of a wall, right? And the resistance is what I choose to do when that resistance comes up. I can either lean into that wall and start climbing the ladder to get over that wall, or I can just like keep trying to, you know, punch that brick wall, you know. And I definitely tried a lot of punching and knocking my head against the wall in the beginning, and just like, it's got to be different than this. It's got to be different than this, instead of what's the next rung on that ladder? How can I take that next step? And I think with the acceptance, like we have really wanted, like one of our leaders, they have been at Blue Diamond for a long, long time, and they want presidential so bad, you know, and it's different for everyone, right? But they really want that, and yet they really wanted another baby, and they wanted another baby more than they wanted presidential, and that's great. I want them to be living their life and choosing that all the way, and then I get to show up in support of those choices, you know, and we get to partner. Like, I think this is so much about partnering too. Like, you know, if we have people that aren't as vested as we are, it's like, hey, I'm here. I want to help you make your dreams come true, and I will partner with you, and I will match your efforts. So what is it that you want to create? But sometimes when you find out right at these points that like people just aren't as vested as you are, then being peaceful with the level of involvement that they want and matching that, instead of like when I overdo it because I'm this vested and they're this vested, and my expectations are that they'll show up here, and then I'm disappointed again, and I'm showing up in these ways, and so it's easy to start building up resentment, you know, and so just letting go of that and being the kind of way, right? Like just trusting that flow and that path more than the force has been so useful for me. And every time, like you're saying, that new wave of energy comes and you're feeling that new wave of energy, right? You're prepared to get those last rungs of the ladder to be on the other side and access a whole new level of being, of growth, you know, all of that.
Great, thank you.
Wow. I love your question as well. It kind of, a lot of people this morning, let me find my some of the practical things that they talked about this morning were identifying the story that's holding us back. So, you know, maybe that story is I've got a leader that's becoming a chiropractor and somebody else that's worried about MLM, blah, blah, blah. The story, and just being clear on that victim story and letting that part go so that we can be back in the flow again. Because any of those other, the resentment, the victim story, anything else, right? It's just going to drag us down. When Sarah Jansen quoted Vanessa Evans saying, "It's time now to weave a new song with the people who are still singing."
Nice, that's lovely.
And I thought that was beautiful, because with each new wave, you find those people and you connect with different people. And I remember the first time I realized, oh my goodness, what's so beautiful about doTERRA is that I'm not attracting the people that I was in the very beginning. Still, I'm attracting this whole different person of who I am now. Yeah. And that was just like this cherry on top that like, oh my gosh, like me progressing means me attracting more people like me. And, and that feels like more flow and easier, and it doesn't have to be this like arduous journey of like, oh, okay, the last couple years we're this, and I get to enter into that again. It can be completely different.
Great, thank you. That's so encouraging.
Yeah,
it's such an apt question as well, because I know that there are other people who aren't on the call right now, but who will probably be watching. Will definitely be watching, and they would be at that level where it's like, something has worked really, really well for them for a while, you know, they've been riding that wave, and we get a little bit spoiled because we're like, ooh, it's going so well now, ooh, you know.
I got this down.
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. And then we just go like, oh, sugar, like the things that worked before aren't necessarily working the same because we're grown. But yeah.
It's so true. It's so true. I love what you're saying, Liz. Go on. Were you?
Yeah. So what I was going to say, something that has actually come up for me in terms of like, I'm really looking into my strengths and working with my strengths at the moment. And one of the things is, you know, we take something that we've been really successful, like a success story we've had.
Yeah.
And we track back and we map out how we actually did that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done that, and I'm, because that formula I think is going to stay the same.
Mm-hmm.
Very much in terms of because it's just about a state of being, and the actions that you do then from that place. So for me, leaning, because that's what I'm doing now as well, just leaning into moving on to the next step, right? And kind of going like, okay, well, what's next? How do I grow from here? How do I actually find that momentum, and kind of how do I get on that wave again? And yeah, for me, it's kind of like looking at the success that I've had in the past and what I did, like tracking back what strengths did I use, how did I use them, what did I do with my time, where was my focus, all this kind of stuff. And it is actually guiding me. I mean, I'm not saying that it's super easy, because it's not, but it's giving me somewhat of a roadmap on how to navigate into new waters, I think.
So wise to deconstruct your success that way, like taking it apart and finding that secret sauce that is your secret sauce, and knowing, we might shift the activity or the whatever the action is just slightly, but it really is about the secret sauce of our being, and tapping into that authenticity and whatever's true for you. Wow. How wise.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun. It's not necessarily the easiest, because it kind of goes against a lot of the normal ways that I would be, the ways I'd be doing things most of the time. But if I look at the things when things have been easy, then it gets really exciting to kind of try that out. So it might be something to look at.
I love that.
So I know at least Katie was gonna jump on as well, and I'm thinking a little bit about questions that other people might have in the group, and I think you actually covered a lot of them in that question that you had, Charlotte. that was
super practical and real. Yes.
Yeah. We kind of end up in the same place, a lot of us, at the same time. So it's good. But I think it is, I know a couple of my leaders who would be interested in knowing maybe the mind. So it's kind of similar to your question, Charlotte. The mind shift needed from when you're going from one rank to another. So, and like when you're going from silver to gold, there's a shift. And then when you're going from gold to platinum, there's another shift, and to maybe like, how could you break that down? What do you have to say on that, Natalie?
Let me pull up the image that I always love to use.
Yeah.
On this, because because it is real. It's literal. These are patterns that we've found that have just stood the test of time, right? So let me find that.
Is it the one where you go from a baby to a teenager?
Oh.
Do you remember that one? I was thinking of the Success Summit.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like it nails all of those things. But yes, the baby to a teenager is real, right? So like, I'll share that one real quick. Yeah, the developmental process is is real. And I love how when we just have that awareness of what belief we're working on and what actions we're working on, it changes everything. It's crazy how just that perspective alone, right, can just train our minds. So for example, Liz, what are you working on right now, or what do you see your leaders working on? Which level, right?
So they would be, some are going from silver to gold, and some are some are actually trying to stabilize silver and then going for gold. But a lot of them are also, I got two in particular who are fairly stable golds going for platinum and diamond.
Beautiful. So, I call it just this individualized curriculum. And as you hone in on where you're building that belief right then, and let me show you, it just guides those efforts, guides your affirmations, right? Like all of my questions in my notebooks that I'm working on right now are just on the affirmations. Well, was just on the affirmation of going blue diamond again, and going that to a whole new level. And so,
yes, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, amazing.
It's so powerful, and I love how it works. And so I've just got all those questions. Those are the ones that I'm asking myself right now. Those are the ones that I'm watching for the answers of. And I'm just going to take you guys on a little ride to share with you a few of the things that that have been really useful to me. So when I just Google empowered success, sometimes that's even easier than going to doTERRA's page, but I just want to take you and show you a few things here, right? If you haven't watched the videos to launch your business, those are great tips for your people. But I am really loving the fact that the tools library has become a lot more complete. This tools library right here. And just a couple tools there to build that belief and to guide that process, that unique curriculum that you're in. Before I leave this page though, this social media course is really basic and powerful, from put together by a group of like 5 wellness advocates that have been successful in long-term social media building. And then I don't know if you guys have seen this Building International link. I'll just give you a quick little preview here, and then we'll get back to the meat of things. But this Building Internationally, lots of
nice.
doTERRA has brought together. But this one is my favorite, the International Empowered Success Guides. So whatever market you're working with, you've got these Empowered Success Guides in all of these markets, right? Wow. So look at everything available in awesome. Portuguese or Brazil, like all of these markets.
Amazing.
Awesome.
So I just love that I've got that resource and I don't have to go hunt them down anymore. And I can even find the events at those, country sites or whatever is needed. So coming back to this tools library, great tools here. These used to be tools that we used to have in our Share Success library that have been refined or made even better, and now are here on doTERRA's site for everybody to find. Very powerful. So, and they're just put together by rank. Like if it's something that's just about a class, there's that drawing entry form that's awesome for booths. things that match with the people launching their business or are referred to in the launch guide. Same thing, like look at these great train tools that just make those that join Premier and Silver even stronger. Yeah. I mean, a Power of 3 tracker that just gives you a physical thing to put up on your vision board and just be able to see, hey, I'm strengthening these 2 parts, you know, and it's editable, so you can just fill in the name and use it digitally or have it printed. Isn't that fun? So many really, really good things. This effective 3-way calls is amazing. Customer appreciation, like, will rock your world.
What does that mean? Distort time? What's?
Oh, this is a fun one. Just about, you know, working outside of the timeline, really. Which things are you going to decide? What are you going to do, delegate, defer, and dump? And then looking at some of the big time blocks, right?
Yeah.
And which things to put in your schedule. So, I mean, the stuff right here, absolute gold.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That is amazing.
So, you know, great tools for trainings and that kind of thing, but just powerful for you individually to go deeper. So let's say that, you know, we look back at our at what belief we're looking at, you know, if we're working on this belief in you, then all of these tools there in Train are rocking our world, right? So a lot of these will be about, oh, let's develop my mindset so I can trust more in that. Growing my integrity, like these are the key pieces. And leading is like more clear on me so I can believe in my leaders, right? In my builders. So just letting you kind of see, so awesome.
Amazing.
So if you see, I mean, team call guide, recognition planner, just
they thought
like
of everything.
Yeah, ninja stuff. Like we were creating this for about 7 years, and we're really happy that now it's available here.
Yeah, brilliant.
But as I let's look at the one thing mentoring form. I'll just pull that up, and this shows you the belief summit, right? So more than just the belief that you're working on, the action that you're dialing into. So for example, solidifying gold. And again, remember what Roxanne Bybee, your amazing upline and my amazing sister, always says is, you know, you keep your eyes focused on where your feet are and you're not really tracking the mountain. But if you look at the mountain, that's where you're going to be. So the way you solidify silver and get to gold is have your eyes on gold. Yes, have you done the work of silver? Yes, you have. And if you've got a block somewhere, you can do that work to solidify. But you've got your eyes on gold and you're keeping focused on what you need to work on, right? So like maybe it's the action of gold. Maybe I have a vision board with why my builders are going to be successful, and I've done the work about that. But now I'm focusing in on developing more of my love, transferring my vision better, and getting this team culture of duplication happening so that people know how to duplicate what I've done and what they've done, you know.
So would you
even
say
that Premier level?
Would you say, Natalie, like, let's say if you hit rank and you've only maybe hit it a couple of times or so, would you still be going for the next rank in terms of like keeping your eyes on the next rank? Or
if you've only hit it a couple times and you still feel like you need to do the work, like, oh my goodness, You know, I need 90 more days to just focus on getting my success habits down or strengthening my commitment. And I'm just going to listen to more of these audiobooks that are going to help me feel more certain, you know, and that's fine. You know, that kind of developmental, you know, you're okay, I'm solidifying this and this is great. When you've been here for like, you've done the work and you're 2 years down the road and you're saying, okay, I just need to solidify my silver before I think about gold. That's when I'm saying, hey, you've done the work for silver, get your eyes on gold. Be developing this, do the new work. It's like every new semester, right? You know, if you keep on the same curriculum, you're never going to learn more than that curriculum. But get that curriculum down and then move to the next rank. Yeah. So I want to just show you on the back of this sheet. Well, let's see. Actually, they took it off of this one. It's one of the tricky things about working with doTERRA. I'm like, wait. So I want to show you just one other tool. Let me get to that. So I'll show you how to get there. So it's share success in the library. Sometimes doTERRA is so good at getting structured that it helps us. We have a whole new.
Nice.
Hang on. So the library.
Wow.
We'll find the right one here. These haven't been super updated because we've been focused on getting it right for doTERRA. D, do you remember where the one thing mentoring is in the library?
Oh, is it there at the bottom?
Was it there? Yeah.
That list.
To the, what's it? Tools, platforms.
I definitely saw one thing mentoring somewhere.
Oh, that's it. It just
had
a different icon. So just on the back of this has some great supports for you to be developing those these beliefs, right? So let's say that you're working on developing more belief in you. Here's some insights on things you could read right here in this column.
We can't see the column. We're still on the...
Is it not showing yet?
No.
Let me see what I'm sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Oh, look!
When and here's the back. So it's giving you just some help on those curriculum pieces, right?
God. So this is the one thing mentoring, yeah? No.
Yeah. So doTERRA took it off. Yep, doTERRA took it off back. So right now to find it, you've got to look on the back page of the Share Success, right there where we picked it up. But this is really powerful just to kind of give you some tips on what to work on, you know. Hey, you can read these things. You can do these things. And here's some movies that you can watch to even develop that, right?
So good.
So I love this because it just helps, you know, flesh it out. a little bit more, right?
That is
Um,
amazing.
So really key things. Maybe you can just share the direct link for this. And I hope that can
That is
be,
fantastic.
yeah, kind of, one of my good friends said doTERRA has just become an open book test. So we're super grateful for all the resources we have and all that's come together from amazing leaders, right? So now we have insights and we can take these, like, whatever, when we come up against the next brick wall, we can take a minute, breathe a bit, and start the rungs of that new ladder to get to the next breakthrough, because it's there and we can pivot. I want to leave you with one last thought. You shut that. One of the things that I'm noticing that's happening in doTERRA is what we call the diffusion of innovation. And let's see, let me get to the best. So quick image for you here.
Oh, Katie just joined us. Lovely.
Hey, Katie, welcome. This right here is what we call the diffusion of innovation. And this was a big thing not too long ago, as we were seeing, oh, this is how a market adopts something. And you can see right away just that this innovators portion is 2.5%, and then the early adopters, right? You see this growing number. So what we found in doTERRA and in the markets that you're in, it could be a little bit different. So now in the US, we have just entered this early majority. From the statistics, we know we're about 3% to 4% into this early majority. That is such a huge part of the market, right? Yeah. And I love thinking about this, like in iPhone terms, the innovators are the ones that go out and buy it on the very first day. The early adopters are the ones that, might buy it after a couple months. And then the early majority wait till they've been through like 3 different operating systems, so that there's no breakdown, and so we're dealing with different people, different consumers, different customers, different builders, different leaders that you're going to find in this space. But maybe, in Ireland, in the UK, you might still be in part of this early adopters section, and you're still, but you're going to enter this early majority here. And it's just good to know where you are in the market and to always be open. This is one thing that I've learned is whenever I feel like you were talking earlier, that we've got the classes thing down, that we've got our groove down, and then something shifts and what we were doing before doesn't work. Well, if we are committed and resilient, that means that we can shift, we can change, we can pay attention to what's feeding the people, what's working for the people, and we can still connect to the people that we're meant to help get oils into their life, that we're meant to lead, because you're meant to lead some pretty amazing people, right? And it's a matter of connecting with those people and doing what we need to do to connect to those people.
I love that because I know I have a Swedish couple on here and they're going to be watching this later. And in Sweden, they're definitely just in the innovator stage, And
they've got to target to the innovators, right?
Exactly. And then I think in Ireland and the UK, we're probably like maybe halfway through the early or whatever the early adopters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Coming into early majority soon enough, I'd say. Yeah.
I just think it's so healthy for us to see where we really are, address that, and go there. And this they've found in markets all around the world, it operates the same way. It's the same principled approach. So us knowing that and addressing that can just make it so it's not scary, right? Mm-hmm. When what we were doing before was working and now all of a sudden it's not, that just can be really scary if we don't have that understanding and see it for what it is. When really it takes all the fear out of it, right? Like Charlotte, you were talking earlier, we just are getting rid of that fear, doubt, and worry that becomes that paralyzing factor for us. And then we can move into action and stay in that place of hope, love, and faith. And that place of belief, that's where miracles happen. I mean, crazy miracles that are going on that we're seeing in people's lives every day. With doTERRA. I just want to close with one of the things that Sarah Jansen was saying this morning. She said, I've been obsessed with my builder's lack of resilience for a long time. And she said, it took a while for me to let go of that and to go to this place of just being committed to my own resilience. And how committed are we to our own resilience, of our own awareness of where we are in the diffusion of innovation, and just knowing, hey, I am resilient. I am here. I know where my eyes are. I'm open to finding new and better ways. I'm open to the ways that I need to learn to connect with the people I'm meant to lead. And that's where the magic happens. And only we can do that, right? You know, we can't point fingers. We can't da-da-da. It's like the power is within us to choose our own resilience and choose that space of growth and peace and love that has us progressing and loving what is, and going to the next level happens when we're in that space. So I'm just so excited for what's happening there and the breakthrough that's coming there. I'm going to share this really cool image. If I can get there.
You're going to love this call, Katie, when you watch the recording.
Yes. You're going to catch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was doing a wellness consult. So it ran over.
That's a really good thing to be doing, Katie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I apologize. I was at that diamond thing, so I didn't have everything all set up. So thank you for flowing with me, peeps.
Did you have anything, Katie, that you wanted to ask in particular? If we have a couple minutes.
No, not that I can think of right now. I'll go back and have a look, though. I'm interested to see everything. I'm suffering with a bit of sinusitis at the minute.
Oh.
Not on my A game right now.
Oh. So you need this month's freebie, don't you? You need that eucalyptus.
Need all the oils. Don't worry, I'm using all the oils.
I'll close with these. That sinusitis, remember to go to digestive, because a lot of times it starts there. Okay. Remember that you're a whole person, right? And what you are creating comes from all of these segments of your life, and that you're bringing that wholeness and that depth. The people that you serve, you're looking for ways to serve in all of these powerful ways. And as you serve more, you naturally are going to sell more. So addressing more areas in more depth is going to be really powerful for you. And I love that we have these really powerful supports to just have these conversations like you were just having, Katie, that conversation about living the lifestyle opens up whole new ways, and doesn't matter what order you have the conversations, just that we have them, right? And that's what really creates a healer in every home, is true wholeness, and healing comes in because of that. But
I love that.
oh, this is my favorite. As the resistance comes up, whatever you're playing in, know that this is true. It rings true. It is true. What stands in the way becomes the way. It will be the stretch that sets you free. So lean into it. Lean into whatever resistance is coming up for you. Stretch a little further. The wall is going to provide the resistance that you need to get to the other side. It's going to be the way. So excited for you guys in your journey, and just cheering you on from the other side of the pond over here. And yeah, we love you
so much for that.
Yes.
Cool.
Oh, thank you. Lots of love.
It's a love
Yeah.
to you.
Thanks so much, and enjoy. I'd love to hear if you have any snippets from the Diamond Training Day over there. Feel free to share them.
Liz, I'm going to post a recording that I did this morning on our Diamond Facebook page, okay? So watch for that.
Awesome. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Cool.
Lots of love.
Brilliant.
Love
Thank
and
you.